What is going on, guys? Pumps, the 187 here, and it's been a while since I've done that. It's been a very long while since I've said that intro, haven't become a meme, and yeah, made an actual video. It's been way too long, but we're finally back on the F1 games, league racing, and I know only like 1 or 2 videos ago I said, oh, I was retiring from league racing. Well, yes, I did. I retired from 1 season, and now I'm back. Just because, I got there for the 2019 game, really quite liked it. Yeah, the handling model sort of suited me. The removal of the ballast and the setups, I quite liked as well, because I didn't really get on with the ballast situation and just things like that. And I did kind of miss it, in a way. Yeah, I miss league racing to some degree, and yeah, I came back to join in with the SRL and AOR Friday night and Sunday night leagues for the APAC, Asia Pacific or Oceania division, however you want to say it, depending on each league. So because we're nearly halfway through both of their seasons, and I'm only now starting to upload, each episode as a catch up will be double length, as in like there'll be two races in one, slightly condensed, but you know that's the way it has to be. So for the first race back in Australia of the SRL League, I am in the Alfa Romeo, a gorgeous lovely car in this game, as it is in real life. Unfortunately not driving the GOAT Kimi Räikkönen's car, I'm driving Giovinazzi's car instead, as my teammate is none other than New Zealand Ryan, the OP guy of this league, who literally wins about 3/4 of every race that happens in this league, and once again he's on pole, so no real shock. However, that qualifying lap was actually pretty decent. I'm P4 on the grid, behind both the Ferraris, who are Master Berserkers, I believe, as a reserve for this league, and always AFK, who's a newcomer from F2 last season, maybe? Either way, they're both pretty pacey drivers, so it will be a pretty interesting battle, both Alphas but versus both Ferraris. So there we go, on the formation lap. And can we possibly get a podium today? We shall see, as P4 on the grid. Looks like our pace is pretty good here. And a podium isn't out of the question, so let's see if we can do it. 5 lights on the screen now. My first league race on F1 2019 is underway, and it's a pretty decent start actually, drawing alongside always AFK on the run down towards turn 1. We couldn't break as late as we wanted to, as Berserk ahead broke quite early. Now we're trying to go around the outside of always AFK, but it didn't really work as it get forced onto the grass there. But we didn't really get forced, there wasn't any contact, we just sort of ran wide and just steered off, and in an effort to try and not make contact, ran slightly wide and succumbed the position to New Zealand Venom. So it wasn't the best of starts, we nearly lost position to Legion Rob as well. So that would have been an awful start had we lost the position to the Haas driver. So now down to P5, at least we have got our front wing intact, as New Zealand Venom slightly lagging a little bit, which could cause some concerns later on, as the two guys ahead are battling quite hard going towards turn 9. New Zealand Venom is a very compromised exit out of that corner, and we're going side by side down the back straight towards a very quick turn 10 and turn 11, trying to go hold it round his outside, but that doesn't really work, unfortunately, as both got away with it though. So he left the room and I left the room. So pretty good racing so far, and we are looking quite threatening in this race. Lap 3, DRS is being deployed, and we're still right behind New Zealand Venom, so we could have an opportunity either into turn 1 or into turn 3 at the end of both DRS straights. So looks like he might be conserving ERS, so we're going down the inside into turn 1. Just about no contact here and slightly wide. I get a better exit out of turn 2. And with the DRS and my ERS into overtake mode, we saw past New Zealand Venom and up into P4. And we're going to stand aside on the 2 Ferraris and hopefully catch them up. But that was good racing team stuff and Venom there. As Berserk, for some reason, pits really early. I think he might have needed a front wing change, and I'm not quite sure why. He might have made a mistake somewhere. New Zealand Venom is still actually really quite close. So Venom actually having a pretty good pace on this race as well. Saving grace for us though is the fact that we always seem to get pretty good exits at turn 2, which is contrasting to the likes of Berserk and Venom. But now on to lap 9, we're pitting for the hard tyres. Obviously the one stop is the the optimal strategy, as it is pretty much every track on the calendar in league racing. The one stop is always the quickest. So going back on track now and down into P9 as Venom gets ahead of us. He did the undercut on us. And Berserk also getting ahead of us as well, although he is a bit of a moment through turn 2. And yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting battle pack for the next few laps. As now lap 14, we've got Berserk and Venom right behind Grizzy. They're all going side by side through the third sector. And they're going to be massively compromised, as I've caught up massively with this battle pack now. As can there be opportunities to get past Berserk? We're pretty much sniffing his gearbox through the final corners. We're in slightly wide, and we all have DRS on Grizzy. Will there be any moves made in turn 1? Looks like Venom is trying to go for the move on Grizzy. Will he make it work? It looks like he has actually, and Berserk has a slightly compromised exit. We're trying to go around the outside of the throw, but Grizzy's there blocking me off the road, and we have to back out of it. We broke really early to avoid contact there, as I was going to be surely made, as Berserk goes up Grizzy's inside, and now we're going to look around the outside of turn 4, and we just about make it stick. Looks like Grizzly might have had front wing damage there. Not quite sure what happened to him, but he's lacking pace on his medium tyres this stage. And lap 16, Berserk's tyres are a few laps older than mine, even though the hards don't really wear that much. He's looking quite vulnerable, especially out of turn 2. So look around the outside now, going on the back DRS back straight, and we're trying to hold around his outside. Brake just about late, but we get squeezed into the AstroTurf slightly, and that's good racing so far. Applying the pressure to Berserk, but we couldn't get position in this circumstances. Venom still proed on his medium tyres, holding station. But this area of the track, that turns 10-11, I really struggled to keep up with the Ferrari driver. Not sure if I saw a pad versus wheel thing. The wheel is much better at changing directions than the pad, whereas the pad is slightly better on traction. But Berserk tried to go the inside of Venom there, and didn't really make it work, as we're going round his outside into the third quarter. We've got a little bit of contact there into the hairpin, but we've got the inside line, and we make it stick, and now we've got Venom actually had a pretty poor run out of the final corner. Once again, we're going to put it into overtake mode, and with a, I think, slightly better straight line speed, we're going to go up his inside once again in turn 1. This time it's a little bit of contact and force him out a little bit wide. He's once again going to have a compromised line through turn 2. He leaves the inside line for me, so that's very nice of him, and we're going to go up his inside into turn 3. Brakes slightly late just to avoid any sort of dive bomb attempt from the cars behind, and I think Berserk also got past Venom through all of that as well. So now for the remaining few laps, we're in P3, just trying to hold off the Ferrari driver of Berserk. I think the penalty situation is I only had one penalty this stage, whereas Berserk had 2, so all I had to do was hold position ahead of him and have no more penalties, but unfortunately I bottled. I made a mistake for turn 11, pushing a bit too hard when I didn't really need to. Got an extra penalty and ended up behind Berserk, but he had a little bit of an error there out of the traction zone in the third sector. So the battle isn't over for P3 really. We're both equal on penalties now, unless he gets another one obviously, but I don't think he will. So we've got the DRS zone. I know I'm pretty strong out of turn 2, so we could still have a chance in the second DRS zone. So let's see if we can get a good run for turn 1. We brake really quite late, locking up the inside front, but we still have a pretty good run. Berserk gets a little bit tail happy out of that corner. He's still quite far ahead though, so let's see if we can do a mighty double. No, we defends the inside line and try and look around the outside still, as I did before, but unfortunately it does not really work. Berserk held the inside line and the pretty quickly zone, so that wasn't really suitable for him. But unfortunately ran slightly wide in his dirty air, and I think I turned in slightly too late. The final few laps we did actually stay with him for quite a bit. In the final lap I think he made a mistake, and we were right there, but unfortunately we just couldn't get position for Berserk. And he's going to hold on for P3, I'm going to get P4. Could have been a podium, but a slight bottle meant it's P4 instead. But it's pretty good. It's good signs of things to come, that we got P4 on our debut back into league racing. And I'm pretty happy with that really. Good points for Alfa Romeo, who edged Ferrari slightly in the constructors. We have Penske, who's also reserved in P5, so congrats to him. Now we move on to Bahrain. Bahrain is a track I also did pretty well at, but unfortunately during qualifying I made a massive error for turn 2. And yeah, unfortunately we qualified way down the order then, and we're going to be doing the alternate strategy for this race. We're starting on the hard tyres and then going to the mediums. So unfortunately, unlike Australia, our qualifying sucks. We're down in P15, so we have a lot of ground to make up. But at least we've got a lot of overtaking to do, so there should be more fun and more action-packed this race. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So on the grid now, waiting for the 5 lights to come on the screen. Obviously it's a dry race, it's Bahrain, it's the middle of a bloody desert, so weather won't play a factor. Strategy is a one-stop for pretty much everyone. Let's see how this race unfolds. I think the only person starting on hard tyres, by the way, so we might struggle a little bit in the first few laps, so then we will become good later on the race. So trying to keep it clean, going to turn 1 now, trying to keep our front wing intact, that's the number one thing. Obviously got Leisure Rob who got off track, and then we got the under and over on him, go around the outside of the traction zone on turn 3. And it's a pretty good start actually, up into P12 on the run down to turn 4. Looks like a bit of contact ahead of the Ferrari and Dubstep, I believe. As we had Leisure Rob trying to look up her inside into turn 4, but that didn't really do much for him. As we're going through this section here, we thought about making a move on Always AFK, going around her outside, but didn't really work there. Just trying to keep station and just trying to keep it clean, trying to find the pace. Unfortunately, once again, we make a massive error for turn 10. I think the problem was with our setup. We had we had too much rear brake bias, so I just knocked up the rears and just skated off track. So it's kind of my fault there. Just a little bit of an enforced error, and I believe we got a warning from that as well. So not really the most ideal situation, but we're right behind Lead Drop again. He was looking quite vulnerable at this stage in lap 1. So it isn't over yet. We didn't lose any front wings, that's the main thing. We can always recover these positions. So it's not the end of the world. We're still in P12 as well, so we still gain positions off the start, even with that error into turn 10. But he makes a big mistake through the final corner, sliding his rear end out, and we're going to get an easy run down the pit straight with overtake mode, overtake ERS, rich mode engaged, and no DRS though, but fast straight line speed, we're going to get the position ahead of him and up into P11, just outside the points. We've got a few cars still to overtake in our quest for a good position. First up is Always AFK, he's battling away with Dubstep, and I believe that's Rizzy ahead maybe. So the slipstream now on the end of lap 2, no DRS, although DRS is now enabled, there's no DRS at this moment down the pit straight. She defends the inside rather aggressively. We're going to look round the outside of turn 1, she gets blocked slightly behind Dubstep, so we're going to go side by side through turn 2. She's still on her outside there, so it's good side by side racing so far. Now I got DRS, but she has pretty good straight line speed actually, and is able to keep it up my inside. I'm going to hold it round the outside of turn 4. Will we get the position? No, she's slightly ahead, and I think will remain slightly ahead through this S section. Slight bit of contact, but that was me turning in slightly too early there, and she keeps the position ahead of me. But that was good racing between myself and Always AFK there. Once again, a little bit of an Alfa Romeo Ferrari rivalry brewing, and it's good to see. Good to see that Alfa Romeo have some competition for the Constructors' Championship. As Always AFK made the move in Dubstep, and I follow through with a dive bomb up the inside of the Red Bull driver. He holds on in the inside of turn 2, side by side once again, like the previous few laps with Always AFK. But now once again she defends the inside line and go a good run on lap 6. A good new personal best as our hard tyres starting to warm in compared to AFK's medium tyres, but she defends quite nicely. I was trying to do the switchback on her, but I didn't really do that right, and just ended up sort of tapping her rear end a little bit. Once again, no damage, thankfully. So now, Always AFK on the move, making a move now on Grizzy, and let's see if we'll follow suit on the run up to turn 4 again. Pretty good run through there. Grizzy looks like he's going to defend the inside line. We've got put on high ERS mode, and we're going to brake as late as possible round the outside of turn 4, hold it round as outside, and I believe we're going to get the position. We're going to hold it around the outside of this X section. It's still there, but that's a pretty good move, and we're now up into P9. But Grizzy hasn't had enough yet, and he's dived down the inside into the hairpin that caught me unaware. A slightly cheeky move from Grizzy there, and I was completely inspected for it. Gave him room, and unfortunately I got a little bit spooked, and I made once again another mistake in turn 10. It seems to be one of my bogey corners. and this time I actually did get a warning for track limit, so I want to make sure I don't get a penalty, as penalties aren't really that common at Bahrain, so if I get a penalty then it will probably lose me positions as no one else will get one. But now we actually made the move on Grizzy finally, sealed the deal, and now we've got Islat Bat up the road. So it's lap 12, most of the medium runners apart from Nat and now gone in the pit lane for the hard tyres. Looks like that's my teammate New Zealand Ryan has come out of the pits just behind me, and now we've settled into P2 of this race. We've got Kane Arms, or Narms, up the road. He's fighting Ryan for the win. But now we've got my teammate right behind me. Even though I'm now leading the race, I have done for half a lap, I'm going to let Ryan pass. There's no point fighting him, and it was only a matter of time before he got past anyway, so I didn't want to make it too hard, and there he goes. He's probably going to extend his lead onto an easy win, and now we got Jared, it was Jared, not Narms, fighting Ryan for the win. I was making a massive error through the S section, and then we just decided to let Jared by, so I think that probably spooked him a little bit, but we clipped that inside curve, lost the back end, and made an error, but then ended up letting Jared through anyway. Didn't really want to fight him either. They're a pit stop ahead. They're not in my fight today. My fight is probably for about P5, P6-ish. That's probably the best I can do. As Gold Power, I think that's Venom. Matt's going to be ahead as well. So these are all people who need to overtake on my medium tyres now. See, in terms of strategy for this race, my straight line speed was pretty good, but I just feel like I was a bit too loose at the rear end. I don't think I put enough rear downforce on. That combined with the rear brake bias, and I was struggling a slight bit for rear stability, which is what you need actually for Bahrain. This is a very rear independent track, so I think I changed that for AOR, I can't quite remember, but we got past Matt pretty easily there, and we're now actually going to set the fastest lap of the race on the medium tyre, so we have actually got good pace, and now we're going to hunt after Gold Power. Is going to be quite slow on his hard tyres. Just up the road from him is Venom in P5, I believe. So look at the inside line now into turn 1, and we get a bit that stick just about pull up. Keep it on the black stuff. We've now got the inside line for turn 2. He's still on the outside. We're giving plenty of room, and with the superior traction of the medium tyres, that is us up into P5. Now we've got Venom who's on the road to P4. So overtake I actually sent into the Veloce overtake series. And I can't remember where he got. I think it made one of the episodes. I can't remember what position it got. But there you go. This is where that overtake is from. If you have watched that and now watching this episode out, although you're probably not, you're probably wondering who this YouTuber is uploading after so long. But Gold Power tried to have a flight back of the back to the US straight. I couldn't close under New Zealand berm. I tried to pull a gap over Gold Power behind, as I did actually get a penalty. I can't remember why or how, but I remember it was like pretty stupid and pretty avoidable for myself. But hey, that's the way it is, unfortunately. So it's P6 instead. Still a good position. It was a fun race, a lot of overtakes, and quite a few battles of always AFK, who I believe actually bottled it, unfortunately for her. But P6, definitely a good result nonetheless, and I believe we are actually still second in the championship, just behind our teammate, New Zealand Ryan. So it's a pretty good start to the season, a P4 and a P6. I'm still chasing that elusive podium in the main top tiers of Oceania, which I'll hopefully get pretty soon. And there you can see I did get a penalty rather stupidly. So we've got P6 ahead of Matt behind Gold Power. It's Narms and Jared who share the podium with Ryan, as Jared's got a load of penalties. I can't remember why. It was so long ago. That's the consequence of doing this video so late. I can't remember much of what happened to everyone else. But I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. I'm trying to do catch up. I'm also making the China and Baku video at the same time. Those are two pretty good races as well, and those will hopefully be on my channel pretty soon after this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will catch up to where we are in real life some point soon. It's good to be back doing YouTube. I've enjoyed making it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. Those few people who haven't and subscribed after seeing this random YouTuber appear out of the wilderness. So yeah, catch you guys later. Palms out.